Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Simple Quiet Life. I wanted to get on here today because I promised you that I would be making a video on journal making from 1-year planners. So I want to do that soon. I've been sick for the last week or so I haven't been able to get on here. I wanted to do this video sooner, but I just wasn't able to. So I'm going to do it today. And I wanted to share a little bit today about my channel. I don't do as much on my channel anymore because I just don't have time. I used to do a lot of editing and now I don't. But I wanted to explain a little bit about my channel and the reason why I call it Simple Quiet Life. And that is based on 1 Thessalonians 4 verses 11 and 12, which are a couple of probably my favorite verses in the Bible, at least practical, life application verses. It says there to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business, and to work with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anybody. And I just feel like that is a verse that I've been trying to apply to my life for several years now, many years, I guess. And I like how it starts. It says, make it your ambition. So, that is like setting a goal before you to make this happen in your life with the help of the Lord. So that's my goal, is I want to learn to lead a quiet life. And I know when we're really young, a lot of times, we live really busy lives, and I just really want to live a quiet, peaceful life, doing the Lord's work and honoring Him. And so some of the things I do on my channel, when I do put videos up, will probably relate to that. And I kind of see journal making, journal writing as part of that, is quieting ourselves long enough to just sit down and with the Word in front of us and listen to the Lord, what He's saying, writing down our thoughts and what He's teaching us from His Word. And so that is part of what I'm doing on this journey, and I may share more if I get a chance to make more videos. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to our journal making. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with this, but I will hopefully give you enough that if you would like to do one of these journals, then you can do it. So what I did is I started this last year, and I've always done journaling ever since I can remember. Maybe I was 15 when I started or something, I don't know. And I have journals going way back. Some of them I've thrown away, I think, the earlier ones, but I've usually bought notebooks, sometimes just as the blank journals. But I've always wanted to buy one of these planners. And you've probably seen these. They look like a journal. They look like a little notebook type thing. I've always wanted to buy one, but I never liked the way that they were laid out, because they have the 1 month calendar, which I like and I wanted to benefit from. But then there are a whole bunch of other pages in there that I don't really need, because I think they're designed for business people, and it just doesn't really fit my lifestyle, what I do in my life. So what I did starting last year was I bought one for the year 2025, and I turned it into what I call like just a journal. I mean, it's tabbed though. I mean, it's different than a journal. It's a planner turned into a journal, maybe like a junk journal or something, but I don't really like it saying junk because it's not junk to me. So the journals start out about a little bit thinner than that, because I've already added pages to this one. This is my 2026 one. I'm going to show you this in a minute, but you can tell that I've already added to it, so I made it thicker. But last year's, you can see how thick it is. I can just show you the comparison. Okay, so there you go. It grows a lot as you add to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you how the journal starts out looking. There are, of course, the tabs for the months inside. You have the tabs. You can buy these. This is a Christian version. You can buy them in any version you want. I usually like this kind. I get mine from Walmart. And then the month usually starts out with a page that has like, what does it say there? Goals, important dates, and to do. I don't have much need for those columns, so I will show you in a few minutes how I change those, and I just make them my own. And then this is the page I pretty much leave the same, only I do decorate it. It's the monthly calendar. So I pretty much leave that as it is. That way I can like add my birthdays, people I know, my family members, friends who have birthdays. I can decorate it if I want to. I put my appointments on here. Various things like that, you know, just as like a calendar. But then the next page gives you specific, the specific date, and then several lines to go with each day. That's the part of the calendar that I really have no use for at all, because I don't have necessarily that much to write on every single day. Some days I write more, some days I write less, some days I don't write at all. And so I just wanted to make this my own. And that's the idea of doing something like this, is making it your own. And let me go ahead and start by showing you what I did last year to my journal. And then I'll go on and show you what I've done so far this year. So you have an inside cover, which is cardboard, and then you will have an inside cover on the back. And what I did is I went ahead and just use some, I don't even know where I got these. They were just like Charlie Brown papers of some sort. And what I did is I glued them on, and I made a pocket out of them. And then I got on Etsy and I printed out some bookmarks, which I really like this bookmark because it says, my book smells better than your tablet. I just like that. So I just stuck that in there. There's really no use for it, you know, if I'm reading and I decide to use that as a bookmark, then I do, but I usually don't. I usually use little sticky notes for bookmarks. And then on the inside cover, I also wrote a song list. So a lot of times in the mornings when I'm doing my devotional time, you know, a song will come to mind, or maybe throughout the day, a song will come to mind. And I just kind of started writing a list of all the songs that were coming to my heart, and keeping a record of those. And on the back cover, I have I put another pocket there, and then I put a reading log. So this is like a, it says my reading log. And I began to write the books that I was reading for that year, and I went ahead and just filled those out each time I read a book. I didn't really read that many books. I don't feel like I read that as many as I wanted to, but I read as many as I could. And then I wrote more songs here. And then when I ran out of room for writing the songs, because I have a lot of songs on my heart, then I started doing it monthly. In the monthly section, I would write the songs like in one of those columns. Let me see if I can give you an example here. I'm not sure which month I started that on, but let me see here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this month this is the month of October. I was actually doing a theme. I kind of started doing themes, and I made this one called This Holy Temple, and it was about the temple of God, and how, you know, his temple was in the Old Testament a holy place, and how now we are the temple of God. And so I would just like spend the month kind of reflecting on that, reading scriptures about that. And I decorated my pages. Let me go ahead and give you an example of what I did for the prayer request. I'm trying to figure out how much I want to show, because I have things written here that well, I'll come back to that in a minute. But one thing I did was just decorate the pages on this month with gold, and I used gold pen. I think I started out with gold. Yeah, I didn't use all gold. I think I went to gold. Maybe like I ordered a gold pen, and then it didn't come in time, but I started writing in gold there. And then I used just various stickers and gold pens to represent, you know, the temple and holiness. And as you notice, these little things right here, I covered up the the words that were there. Like, so it would say the date, like October 15th, and I don't really want it to say October 15th, so I date it myself, and I just put a little piece of paper over that to cover it. And that's pretty much what I did. Like for the month of November, I made a theme called gratitude, and I decorated the whole month with things that were related to gratitude and Thanksgiving. In December, I decorated for winter and Christmas and put some poinsettias on there. I got those from some decorative paper that I cut out. And let's see what else. Okay, now I'll go ahead and show you from the next one what I did here. So my newest one, you can do this like theme based. You don't have to do it theme based. You can make it whatever you want it to be. I feel like I'm saying a lot, but I didn't start out doing this theme based last year, and then I kind of got to the place where I wanted to do it based on a theme. This year, because I've been sick, I haven't even written in it, and I started making like a winter theme, but now I'm finding that I have so many pages that I haven't written out in yet, but because I've been sick and I'm just like not doing anything with it. But I wouldn't worry about that. Like if you want to do this, then go ahead and create this. And even if you don't write in it for one of the months, you can always come back later and write in it. There's no rule because it's yours, it's your project. So here's what I've done so far with this year's 2026. There's my inside cover, and I made a pocket again. This time the front pocket is going to be my reading log. And where I got these is Etsy. I went to Etsy, and you can do downloadable files. So it's like $2 or something. You purchase a file and then you download it. You can print it from home if you have a printer, and if you don't, then just go somewhere and print it. I'm reading 2 books right now. One is called Stop in the Name of God by Charlie Kirk, and the other one is called Caddy Woodlawn. It's really a children's chapter book, but I'm reading it. It's about the pioneer days, a little pioneer girl. And I have not read those completely yet, so I haven't checked them off or dated them, but I will when I get there. All right, then I use my intro page. I leave that the same. Then I have my important information and my contacts there, which I do not change. Sometimes I'll decorate around the top of it, just do some doodles or something, but I don't change that page necessarily. And then this is another page that I wanted to show you, is that the next page, which is a 2026 year at a glance and a 2027. Now, what I did last year, I'm doing the same thing this year, is I write down 2026 accomplishments. And I haven't done so well this year so far because I've been sick, but I write out a goal on the top, which says, like for me, it is, I circle and color the days that I don't eat any sugar, because I try not to eat very much sugar. So I circle and color them. And then this year I gave myself some goals about how many days I actually wanted to have sugar. And because I'm at that point where I can do that and not feel like I even really need the sugar. And then I'm also, something new I'm doing is I'm trying to get fresh air every day. So like a half an hour of fresh air every day. And I'm marking that daily, like with a square around it. If I have got the fresh air, I put a square around it. A half an hour isn't very much, but in the winter here, sometimes, it's hard to get fresh air. And I will just like open the window and just let some fresh air in, even if it's cold. But then I have other goals around the edge that I've written, like I want to work on some embroidery. I want to finish, like do a good news almanac. I want to continue my ministry to the elderly, like letter writing and things like that. So I write those just here in the margins and check them off when I complete them. So I see this every day. This is something I go to every day. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to use that page for. Last year, I actually covered that page up and used it for something else. But this year, I'm not going to cover it up because I just feel like I might use it. And also, I wanted to show you something else I put here. Along with each planner, they give you, of course, the monthly tabs that are already there. Now, I went and bought some tabs. Let me see, where did I put them? Maybe I didn't bring them in here. Yeah, you can buy them from Walmart. They're just like sticky tabs, and I think you can peel them off and re-stick them if you need to. I added my own because I needed to put some more categories there after I created the pages, which I'll show you. So this first one says accomplishments, and then of course when I open that, then you see my accomplishment page like I just showed you. And then, which I'm going to show you now, photos. Okay, so I went ahead and made some photo pages. Now these two are empty, and I did add one. These are for my family. And then the next 2 pages will be for our pets, which I did get our cat, our oldest cat, Ice Cream. I put her in there. And the way I made this page was I bought some of that decorative paper from, I got mine from Hobby Lobby. I can show you what it looks like. Let's see, you can buy it loose in 8.5 by 11 pages. These are just 4th of July. And then butterflies, some more patriotic type of paper. You can buy it loose like that, or you can buy it in books. I usually buy the small books because I don't really want to have the big books. But this is a winter one that I bought, and it's just a small, and all the pieces just fell out. All the extra pieces. Ah! Okay, and then this is a spring one that I will be using. I've already used it, but there's different flowers in there you can use for a spring theme, and I buy those sometimes. I like the small ones the best, like I said. So I will take those, buy the kind I want, and both years I've done this wooden looking background, and I just basically cut it down to the size that I want it on the page, and then I buy some of these labels, which you can buy in the sticker section in Hobby Lobby, and then some special, I don't remember what that pen's called, but it's a special type of white pen that you can write on with it. It's in the craft section. And I will also get these little corners. I don't know, let's see, they're called decorative photo corners. You can buy these, and I put them in the corners of my pictures like that to hold them on. I don't glue them on, but what I do, the way I attach this paper to the page is by using a tape runner, which looks like this. So normally I'll use a tape runner if I'm using a thick paper like this, but if I'm using like a thinner paper like newsprint or something small, I might, like this, I probably use glue, and I just would use this kind of glue most of the time is what I use. So I only have 2 things that I really use as adhesives. And you can also buy things in the craft section like this. This is a corner, it's a corner cutter, so you can use it. I didn't use it on this, but you put your corner in there before you glue it on, and it's like a hole punch, and it'll make curved corners for you, which is really nice. So that is my photo section. And then this year I added something different that I didn't add last year, was a coloring section. And I love log cabins. I love old 1800s things. So I found these log cabin bookmarks on Etsy, and it's a like PDF downloadable file, and I printed them and I just glued them in. That's all I did. I used glue. I didn't use tape runner on these because the paper was fairly thin. And then I went ahead and used washi tape, and I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a minute and show you my washi tape. I have to go get it. Okay, I got this tin suitcase type thing. I don't know what it's like, container. And I got this from a garage sale one time, and I just keep all my washi tape in it. I'm getting quite a collection. But I use that on my pages here, and what I did is I just chose like let's see, which way does that go? I chose one that looked like this was kind of like a calico print, you know, really little small flowers. So I just put that on there to make a border, and that'll just be something when I pick my journal up. If I feel like coloring one day, then I can do that. If I don't want to, then I can just look at it, and I enjoy that. So my next tab here it says song list, and these 2 pages I also printed from Etsy. These are going to be my song list pages, and I have a feeling that that's not going to be enough space, so I'm going to have to probably start adding songs to the monthly calendar, because as I I don't know if I pointed it out. I don't think I did, but I haven't written any songs, and I didn't leave a lot of space to write songs on the inside covers this time, like I did last year. So I made specific pages for that. And let's see. Okay, then the next section would be journaling. When you buy these journals, you are going to see that they're going to start the journal not in January. They're going to start the journal, I think, maybe September or October. So you're going to have all of these extra pages. Let me show you. Let me try to thumb through those and just show you how many extra pages there are. Yeah, there's actually a lot of extra pages. You see all that? Because January, all of that is just even before January starts. So what I did last year is I just tore out all of those pages. I didn't use any of them. And then when I taught a journal class on this not long ago, and one of the ladies in there, she was keeping all of her pages. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. That's pretty wise, because I just like tore all those out and pretty much wasted all of the paper because I didn't want them. I wanted my calendar to start in January. But this time I went ahead and just made them into journaling pages. So I have more pages to journal in. And I put some washi tape down the sides. You can decorate it if you want. You don't have to, but I do want to point out that I put lined paper. I glued lined paper on each page, because otherwise what you're going to have under here is you're just going to have regular pages like you have back here, like this. It's going to have the calendar stuff. And if you like the calendar stuff and you want to leave it like that, that's fine. But I don't, that was the whole point of me doing this, is I don't want a planner, I want a journal. So my next section after the journaling section was a doodling section. So I have these little pieces of paper, which I got from another journal somewhere, and I cut them out, and I'm just using them as doodling pages in case I want to doodle something. When I doodle, I want to tell you something. I am not an artist at all. I'm trying to practice learning to draw a little bit, but I don't, I'm not natural at it or good at it or anything. But what I do is this is my back cover pocket. I actually created a pocket to put different doodles in that I print out online. So these are winter doodles that I just printed, and this is really fun. These are, let's see, and I just looked at my phone to draw these. These are like borders and things. They're really simple to draw. I mean, if I can draw these, anybody can draw these. And then I'm just putting these in here this year. That way I have some ideas for drawing, for putting little borders on my pages or anything to decorate. And I'm keeping that there. But this is a doodling section in case I want to do that someday this year. And then here I have another tab for more journaling. So I have some extra pages there before January starts, and I just put different washi tape on there. So there's a kind of a different, there's not really a theme. And also these pages that I used for this section, you see how there's a scripture verse on the bottom there? I used a little notebook. Let me get up and go get that. Okay, so I go to the Dollar Tree, and they have these little journals. They're very thin, super thin journals, and they have different themes. This one's song. So when you open them up, they're lined, and they have scripture verses on each page. But what I like about it is that you can use these as your journal pages in your journal that you're making, in your theme journal. So if you just cut those pages out, try to cut them as straight as possible, and then you're going to have a little room on the side, and that's why I use the washi tape to kind of cover up the edges. And then you go on to, if you are going to save those pages, you'll have quite a few pages for journaling, which will be really nice. And then January will finally start. This time I just left that page. I didn't do anything to it at all. Last year I did a lot to them, but this year I didn't. I might for the other months though, I'm not sure. And then for this page I did though. I decorated with a log cabin and some snowflakes, and then let me show you what I did. So the categories that were here, I went ahead and changed because I don't like the categories they give me. So I changed them to praise, Thanksgiving, and prayer. And so you can't really see it as I'm pointing to it. I just put prayer requests here. I put things I'm thankful for here, and then praises to God in this column. And then, of course, my monthly calendar starts, and I have decorated just a little bit there, but I'm writing my appointments on there, and I like to decorate that page a little bit, but I try not to take up too much space. And then going on to the next pages, I have just taken some of this decorative paper that I showed you. This is the winter pack. And I have to cut little strips and put them over the days of the week that they had, the dates. And then down on the bottom, I just cut out different shapes and glued them on. Did some little journaling. I use stickers. I use a lot of stickers. I like stickers. And then what I did is I liked that picture so much that I went ahead and it was pretty much a full sheet. I think it was a full sheet out of here. And I just glued the whole sheet in there. And because I know this year I have plenty of journaling room in other places, so I don't have to worry about, you know, if I'm using up a whole page for journaling or for one piece of decorative paper, that's fine with me. And then let's see, the other pages, I just went ahead and put a few decorations. So what I'll do is I'll use the last week of the previous month to decorate my calendar, or to decorate the next month. So the last week of December, I worked on decorating January. So it's decorated, it's just not written in yet. And I just put various stickers. I used an envelope here to make a pocket in case I want to put something like little notes in there. And you can do this any way you want. I've actually, one of the ladies in our class, when we did this class several weeks back, she did a really good job. I mean, she's very, very artistic. I loved hers, but I'm not worried that mine doesn't look like hers because I make it look the way I want it to look. So that's all I have. And then at the end of January, the last full week of January, I will start decorating for February. And I don't have anything there yet, as you can tell. I don't know what my theme's going to be. I might come up with a theme by then. I might not. I might just do a little bit, but I do have some Valentine stickers that I can use. And then I think I have one of these in Valentine prints. Let me see what I had for last year. Sometimes I'll look at last year's to see. Yeah, I had stickers. I used a lot of stickers for that, for February last year. So, and my theme that month was love and friendship. So it's really fun. If anyone wants to do this, I encourage you just be creative, make it the way you want to make it. And I'm going to go ahead and show you now some other things I used to make this project work. I use pens, sometimes different color pens. I showed you my tape runner and my glue. Sometimes I will use rubber stamps and ink pads, scissors, and I use this kind of a paper cutter that usually works pretty good. Let's see, stickers. I have like a whole drawer of stickers over there, but I just brought a couple over to show you. Letter stickers are always nice, and this is a religious sticker pack. And let's see what else. Okay, embellishments. A lot of times I will just use embellishments to put on the page. So sometimes they're kind of in place of stickers if you just can't find the right stickers or you just want to use something really cool. These I bought. These are like really kind of old-fashioned looking type of things. Pictures like an old bike, an old car, you know, old clocks, things like that if you want to do a theme where you're doing old-fashioned things. They have animals. They have all different kinds of, yeah, let's see. I guess that shows you everything that's in there, although they're not colored in there. They're more, I don't know, muted. And then sometimes I use things for embellishments that are just tags that I have from things. You might have seen in my January page, I had bought a new pair of boots, and the tag was a thermometer, and it said -5 degrees because they had tested the boots to -5 degrees. And so I just glued that in my January page, on one of my January pages, because it's wintry, you know. Sometimes like I save things like this that was on my calendar, Winnie the Pooh. This is Snoopy, and this is a tag off of, I don't know what this was off of. I don't know, but sometimes I'll just save little tags that are cute, and I'll glue those in there as little embellishments. This is a like just brown paper, has a leaf on it. So if I wanted to do something naturey, I might put that on one of the pages. And then that was just part of that Winnie the Pooh calendar. It's just a really nice, like the way the paper feels, the texture of it is really unique compared to a lot of other paper you get. So sometimes I might save things like that. Or if you drink tea and like some of the tea has little quotes on it, like the scripture verses, sometimes they have nature quotes on them. I don't really particularly care for all of the nature quotes because they get into a lot of new agey stuff. But if it's a decent quote, then I will save that and put that in my journal. So just little things like resources that you find in different places in your everyday life, you know, save those, make a drawer and just like throw them in there. And then sometimes I use them in letter writing or journal making or something. And then another resource I use for songs is a friend of mine gave me this wonderful, I love this. This is a hymnal. It's by Sing. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Keith and Christy Getty. They are part of the Sing conference every year, and they put out a hymnal, which is a wonderful hymnal. I love this. It is such a blessing. And so sometimes I will just use this as part of my devotion time in the morning, and I open it up and read through the lyrics of the song. And if I don't know the song, a lot of these are older hymns, and then some of them are newer hymns that Keith and Christy Getty and their team wrote. So I will just, you know, turn my phone on, look for this hymn, and listen to it if I don't know it. One thing I really like about this hymnal is in the back, they have a section where they tell like a story or some notes or a thought point on each hymn that's in the book. And then they also have some readings in here, like, let's see, they have scripture readings, and then they just have like prayers and blessings and things like that. So if anybody's interested in that, like having something like that, I think you can probably purchase it online. This was a gift to me, but it's really nice. All right, well, I hope everyone enjoyed this. I hope that you know, if you're interested in journal making, that you will do this. I would recommend going out and getting your planner soon, because I know the stores are going to stop selling those really soon. So I hope this was helpful, and everybody have a good time. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section, and I will try to get to those and answer them. And I'll try to make another video soon. Thank you. Have a great day.